Thank you, Gary, and thank you, Republican Club participants and organizers from around the city for this opportunity to come and talk to you. I know some of you in this room, but for the benefit and some of you know me, for the benefit of those who don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about me. My dad was a county commissioner in my hometown of Rockville, Illinois, so the seed for being in public office was planted in me these many years ago. My wife and I moved to Knoxville so that I could go to work for Whittle Communications, where I worked as an editor for 10 years. And then the next 20 years, I worked in full-time community service at Knox Youth Sports, which is a program at Lakeshore Park that tries to grow kids up through team sports. And we had about 2,000 kids per year, so times 20 years, that's a lot of kids and a lot of parents. My wife has had a 30-year graphic design career here. My son, who has 4 kids of his own now and doesn't live in town, was educated here. And the long and short of it is I'm extremely grateful for everything that the city has given and done for my family. And I'm ready to take my toolbox and go to work for the city, which is a fabulous place, but to make it just a little bit better. From 10,000 feet, what I'm interested in doing is continuing the strong growth that we've experienced in the last 5 years, but not at the expense of quality of life. In terms of issues, I've got some short-term issues and some medium-term issues and some long-term issues. Among the short-term ones are trying to deal with the opioid addiction problem in the city. That may sound as an unusual issue for a city council person to want to work on, but I only bring it up because I've talked to some 150 people over the course of the last year trying to figure out if I wanted to run, if I could get anything accomplished, and if so, what did I want to say? One young man said 3 of his fraternity brothers had to drop out of UT because of opioids. A man that is a developer in town has a 23-year-old daughter who got hooked up, and she's now taking $1,000 shots for the next 2 years that are not covered by insurance. And so I spent time with the Metropolitan Drug Commission Director, Karen Pershing, and also the Chief of Police. Turns out that 90+% of all the work that the police department does has something to do directly or indirectly with addiction. Karen Pershing has got some ideas that she talks about for how to begin educating kids when they first start to read. There are other things that can be done at the pivotal point when a child goes to middle school, because maybe you all have heard that 13-year-olds in this country have overdosed and killed themselves. The medium-term issues that are real important to me are jobs, and that's not only bringing companies in from outside, but making it easier for companies that are here to grow. There are a lot of details in that issue, but that's super important to me. As our neighborhoods, we have a lot of stabilized neighborhoods in West Knoxville. Some are not fully stabilized, and I would like to protect them and fully stabilize them. And then other parts of town don't have stabilized neighborhoods, so that's hugely important. I've got 2 big ideas. One of them is a terrible idea, and one of them I think is a good idea. The terrible idea is to put sidewalks everywhere in town to the tune of about $2 billion and bankrupt the city. Neighborhoods really do want sidewalks, but they have to be added in a very judicious way. The idea that I'm very keen on is to put together a 25-year plan for the city that would include Oak Ridge, UT, Chamber of Commerce, county, the city, Innovation Valley, tourism here in Knoxville, and get all those folks together to figure out what they want Knoxville to be over the next 2.5 decades. This is not something that we have done. The Metropolitan Planning Commission has sort of a land use plan that goes out a couple of decades, but there are all kinds of other things, such as economic development. For example, would it be worthwhile if we tried to attract a couple of hundred international companies to this area, because Oak Ridge would be a very natural partner for them. In fact, Greenville, South Carolina, many of you probably know about that city, has done just that. They've got a bustling downtown. We're a long ways along the same path to making ours terrific, but there will be a huge economic engine down there. So those are the issues. I failed to mention that I was in the Navy, the USS Northampton. At least one other man in this room was in the Navy. Where is he? Oh,
Jack.
I haven't talked to you, but there's two. And I very much like your vote. I very much like the opportunity to go to work for the city that I love.